Hello, everybody. This is a daily recall for August 15th, 2026. I'm Tom Stoukas coming to you from Sarnia, Ontario. Nice Saturday night. Instead of going out partying, I guess I'm sitting here. Um, the dog days of summer. Slow news day. I saw they did a news story on some dude bicycling around Sarnia and raising money for the hospital or something. I was like, it must be a slow news day. But yeah, good for him. So let's see what's on today on the social media feed. All right, back to this guy, Birded Proud Dad. He's taking kind of a beating on the internet for putting this post out saying racism has no place in the Alberta independence movement. He's just getting beat over the head by people in the comment section because he's using, he's falling into that racism. For me, that word don't mean nothing to me, so I don't answer if someone says racist this or whatever. It's just like feeding the beast. So he'd fed the beast all right. I saw this post, Tristan Jones. He's talking about Berta Proud Dad. So this Berta Proud Dad, he supports Pierre. He's like a Polyev fan, like, one of those influencers for Polyev. But he's for Alberta independence, and Polyev's against independence. So I don't know what this dude's deal is. Now he's against racism. Berta Proud Dad. He says, Berta Proud Dad and these guys sound like Trudeau from 6 years ago. Separation isn't the answer. Remigration is the answer. Okay. Yeah, like Trudeau's post here on hate has no place in our country, will not be tolerated. It's basically the same as his, like, he's matching Trudeau's language, and that's the commie trap they set, like, to be always on the defensive for this racism accusation stuff. All you're saying is, hey, I don't want to be flooded with people from India, the Middle East, and Africa. I don't think that's racist, but they call you racist. And he kind of just fell into this trap because, he's one of those cunts, those fake conservatives. Yeah, they sound like Trudeau from 6 years ago. Separation isn't the answer. Remigration is the answer. Yeah, because if you're going to separate from Canada and still have the open border flow of people from, like, all these different countries, then what's the use of separating? It's unless it means something, Obviously, it'd be better just to save the whole country from it, but then we got these guys, Khalistani army. I believe it when I see it, but I don't think it'd be much of an army. But anyway, why the hell are we letting these guys into Canada? Here we are. These guys are in Canada. I don't know if this is a real picture. I don't think this is. What are they going to fight from here? How did they get in here in the first place? Liberals need to answer this. So does the RCMP, CSIS, Trudeau, and Carney. Yeah, like the Khalistani they actually say we're here to continue this feud with India from Canadian soil. They literally say that. And it's like, here's your stamp visa. And, they're in the States, too. For some reason, the States tolerates them, too. But they're saying, like, you see all sorts of videos with them with guns and shooting guns and saying they're training like an army. Here we are here. Indian invaders have now formed a Khalistani army in Canada. Yes, you read that right. Let's see what this... I don't know if I have myself. And they got that stupid music. I don't know, is this in Canada? It looks like it. It looks like it's a appears to be in Canada. But yeah, like let's say if Jeremy Mackenzie or any other Canadian was doing videos like this, along with political commentary, they'd be getting their doors busted in no time, you know. But no, this is harmless fun. I don't know why we're letting them into Canada. It doesn't make sense. They're all part of the Conservative Party. They all belong to the Conservative Party. And probably the Indian ones, the Hindu ones, go to the Liberal Party. Who knows? I don't know how it works. But they're getting into the country somehow. And like they're not assimilating into Canada. Doesn't look like they're assimilating. Alright. Next. We'll see more of them later. Meanwhile, in the UK, how to ruin a beautiful English village in one step. This is the little village of Linton-on-Ouse. Population 644. It must be a beautiful village. Look at it. It's gorgeous. You couldn't ask for a nicer little... It's got a little boat there. You can go in the... Okay, population 644. They're about to receive an influx of 1,200 immigrants. All of them men. All of them Muslim. I don't know if they're all Muslim, but probably. None of them legal. This comes just days after... This comes just days after the arrival in tiny Piddington of 1,250 illegal immigrants. That's nuts. Why would they do that to a beautiful English village? But their new Prime Minister, Andy Burnham, he actually looks worse than Keir Starmer. Like, hard to believe, but he's like, well, every part of Britain has to do their part in accepting these refugees. And I have a feeling Carney's going to do that in Canada too. He's going to keep spreading them out. He's already done a couple. I think in Bradford and Pickering. So I'm sure we'll get getting our share from the migration pact that our Governor General is such a fan of. So got to spread them out. Next. All right. We saw a video yesterday of how I don't know if it was a video, but it was an article about garbage dumping huge increase in garbage dumping in Canada. And I was saying, like, there's no reason for it. Like, logistically, there's no reason. Because, like, the dump system in Canada is very efficient. Like, it's very easy to get rid of stuff. If, you drive it to the dump, you pay your $20, and they take whatever you give them, for the most part. But these guys, they dump it in the road. Like, they dump it wherever, farmers' fields, ditches, whatever, and it's becoming a big problem. Because obviously, the more people that come to Canada, the more garbage will get dumped. And it's like it's not a thing where it's too hard to dump the garbage. It's very easy to dump garbage in Canada. I think it's just a cultural thing where they think, well, I pay taxes, someone will clean it up. It's not my problem. So this is another video. I'm sure we'll see more of these. Another entitled idiot thinks it's fine to drive onto a this is in Alberta, private Alberta farm and dump his garbage. The farmer catches and blocks his escape and makes him clean it up. Good. Let's see this.
He's dumping all of his garbage. Yeah. There's a bunch of garbage back there. Yep. He's dumping all of his garbage.
And they always have U-Haul trucks full of garbage. It's weird. They have money for a U-Haul, but they don't have money to go to the dump.
What are you doing?
What's going on?
Nothing.
You can't be doing that, man.
Huh?
This is our property. Throw your garbage back in your fucking truck.
Okay.
Like, clean it out, man. That's bullshit. Come on.
How would you like it if I dumped it on your lawn?
Put it back.
So there's another video. I don't know where they're from, but who knows? But it's just a third. Like it's a weird mentality to have all that garbage, those rivers of garbage. They want to turn Canada into rivers of garbage. I saw this here. I thought it was funny. We're talking about Berta Proud Dad. So here, it's kind of a joke. You know, we're just joking, but we're not. But it's 2026. If you're a white man and not being labeled a racist, supremacist, or Nazi, then you are a homosexual. It's pretty funny. It's true. Like that's kind of the standard now. If you'd have to be called a racist by now to have the. If you haven't, you know, if you've noticed the situation. The usual suspects will be calling you a racist. So I thought that was funny. Alright, next. Canada first. Canada needs an actual right-wing opposition because 99% of the Conservative Party would be Democrats in the US. I don't care if it's PPC or another right-wing party, but we need someone who actually stands for our values and wants to put Canada first. Yeah, Conservative parties... a lot of people are starting to realize, especially young people, that the Conservative Party is not too much different from the Liberal Party. So the question is, and what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Like in Britain, the Conservative Party, they lost a lot of support, and there's like another right-wing party called Reform, and then another party called Restore. So it's like, if the Conservatives don't change, they'll just form new parties, basically, in Canada. It'll be interesting. The Conservatives have a chance now, but I don't see them doing it. They're too much like the Liberals. So obviously we're going to keep an eye on, because I think the Conservatives are going to go through a lot of Conservative Party of Canada after 10 years of losing, 10 or 12 years of losing, and doing shit in the polls and shit accomplishments. Like, they're not landing any punches. They're gonna have to make some big changes in that party, like generational changes. Alright, so obviously we'll watch that unfold in front of us. Next, third world Toronto here. This is kind of a running theme, is how women aren't safe in Canada at, like, basically anything. Like, they can't ride on the subway or take a bus without worrying, not necessarily having something happen to them, but like worrying about it, a sexual assault, like on the bus or on the subway or on an Uber ride or taxi ride like this guy, or driving instruction, or wherever, basically anywhere, park, beach, wherever, anywhere. Because these guys that come over from, like, I think this guy's from like Pakistan, Afghanistan part, like the rough part, this guy. And guys that come from that part of the world, they're not the same. Like, they have a little different view of how to treat women. But if you say that, they call you racist. You know, it doesn't make any sense. Let's see this story here. Like, they seriously, they have a totally, same with the Africans. They have a totally different view of relations with women. like a very, very different view. Like, sexual assault's like going to Starbucks for some of them, you know? Toronto police have charged a taxi driver with sexual assault. Police said they received a call for a sexual assault Friday. While working as a licensed taxi operator, the accused allegedly sexually assaulted a victim. So they're believed to be more victims. Ghulam Khan, 44, of Toronto. So yeah, Afghan, kind of like the border of Afghanistan, Pakistan probably. But yeah, these guys are Taliban style. Like, that's Taliban level shit, you know. So women, when you say we shouldn't be racist, just remember they treat women a lot different in that part of the world. So, you know, we saw that video of the guy knocking that chick out. Yeah, the chick might have been annoying, I don't know, but he knocked the hell out of her. Like, you can kill her. She's just a little thing there. Alright, but that's normal for them. Like, they're like, I'm allowed to do this. No? Oh, okay. It's horrible. But, like, that's why you don't kind of want to let them into Canada. Next. This is how they do it in India. So, Tim Hortons, they can't catch a break. They deserve it, though. They deserve it. Like, they literally, the people running Tim Hortons anyway are like, they're not related. They don't care about Tim Hortons, the image or the coffee quality, nothing. They all they care about is making money. And I think they'll sell it eventually. Like, I don't know. But the guys running it have destroyed it. The brand, the share value, I don't know. I don't know what the deal is with them. But this is one of their employees. Like, come on, man. Can you imagine if you walked into Tim Hortons? You're like, I'm going to get a bagel with some cream cheese. And then you see that. It's bad enough he's sleeping there with his feet. But he's got the... Is that the Tim Hortons? Yeah, it is. He's got the Tim Hortons shirt on. He's got his feet there. No problem. I gotta go. I'll make your bagel in a sec. That's like their advertise. I don't know, man. I haven't been to Tim Hortons in like a year. To be honest, I'm not exactly sure when's the last time I went, but it's probably been like a year. And not only have I saved tons of money, but I'm probably like lost a little weight and a lot less sugar, and I don't miss it at all. I bought these cups from the dollar store that's like plastic, and they look like to-go cups, but they're actually plastic, so you can wash them and microwave them, whatever. So it's like a coffee cup to go. Who needs Tim Hortons? I can't believe people still eat there. Why would you eat there? I don't know. Where is this? In BC. A photo circulating online has gone viral, appearing to show a Tim Hortons employee in BC sleeping with his feet on a table where customers eat, sparking hygiene concerns. That's horrible, man. I don't think it's going to be a long night tonight. It's Saturday, middle of August. I'm sure things will pick up in September. Actually, I know they will. I'm not worried about it. Next, here's Roman Baber. So Roman's responding to the media story on Pierre, saying MPs don't think he's going to win. He can win. 17 MPs who complain about him, saying we're not going to win with this guy. So Roman comes back, says, the media attacks on Pierre Poilievre are launched to distract from Mark Carney's failures. The Liberal government is in charge, not the opposition. A country where media attack the opposition rather than the government is a country where freedom is under threat. Peter Hitchens. Okay. And it's funny how he uses the picture of Pierre at the synagogue. The good goy. And Roman Baber, he only talks about Israel. Like, since he's become an MP, all he talks about is expelling Iranians and supporting Israel and this and that, whatever. But, yeah. The media is not, definitely they're carny cheerleaders for sure, but I can't stand the liberals, I can't stand the media, and I think Pierre's done a shit job. So, the Conservative Party, not just Pierre, the whole Conservative Party. So, yeah, you can blame the media all you want, but at the end of the day, your performance is what you're measured on, and, you know, the Conservatives have had a horrible record in the last 12 years. And even the years, and the years, Harper years, like the end of the Harper years, they were going to shit then. So, you can blame the media and the polls all you want. But, at the end of the day, you got to perform. We'll see. Maybe he'll make a comeback. Maybe Pierre will make his comeback. And like I was saying with Pierre, it's crazy. And I don't think they want to admit it, but if he would have quit that night when he lost his riding, they could have started a whole year of maybe a renewal. Maybe they say, hey, we got to figure this out. This is bad. And maybe it would have been a lot of party restructuring. No, we're asking too much, but. And now, if he resigns now, or in the near future, they got to admit that, hey, we just wasted, because he didn't resign that night, that he lost his riding, like most people do in Canada, like according to political tradition. He wasted a whole 2 years of this party, where we could have moved forward. So, they don't want to admit that. Like, that's going to be a bad thing to admit. It's like, shit. You know, was it the right thing to do to stay on and not resign? Well, you know, obviously if he comes back and becomes prime minister, then obviously it was the awesome move. It was the right move, but I don't think that's going to happen. So yeah, 2 years of wasted time if Pierre resigns now. Like I said, he should have done it the night he lost his riding. Because that's what most people do. They say, I can't leave. Like, I don't know. I would have, if it was me, and my party lost the election after blowing like a 20-point lead and then losing your own riding that you've had for 20 years. And you lose after blowing a 20-point lead, plus your own riding that you had for 20 years, and you still stay on. Me, I would have quit. I would have said, yeah, I tried. But maybe he's giving credit. Maybe you shouldn't give him credit. I think it's not going to end well, but I think we'll find out by Christmas. Or in the next few months. Alright, next. I haven't heard from this guy in a while. Government.exe is corrupt. I don't know. There is no right wing in Canada. There's only left, far left, and extreme left. All opposition is controlled opposition. Uniparty garbage. So here's another kind of dig at the conservatives. So he's obviously the left are the liberals, probably the far left. No. The left are the conservatives. The far left are the liberals. And the extreme left are the NDP. So, yeah, I agree. I totally agree. Next. Remigration Tory. The CPC is going to wither away and die soon because they just can't move on from Harperism. Yeah. So basically, it's the same as the liberals, globalist, pro-immigration, mass immigration, soft on all the LGBTQ. Like, it's basically red Tory, kind of liberal light. And people don't want that anymore. But I don't see them changing. I think they're just going to stay in their own thing and just get the boomer vote until they don't get it anymore. All right, next. All right, these Calistani guys again. You don't hear anything. Like I said, if any Canadian groups did videos like this, there'd be CBC, CTV, they'd all be doing stories on this. But no, not a peep. And about this Khalistan army, because to be honest, the Khalistan thing, I don't understand it a lot, but basically they want a independent state where in present day India, in Punjab. I don't care, but I have to listen to this because, anyway, I think they know they're not going to probably get it, because they would be over there right now fighting if they thought they were going to get it. So I think they're just trying to multiply their numbers here and just like an empty space like Saskatchewan or Manitoba, because those places are pretty empty. So if you get millions of these guys coming in and they don't think the Khalistan thing is going to happen in India, they might just say, screw it, we'll take like Prince Edward Island. Well, they can't swim, so they have to go to Saskatchewan. And they're getting the guns to do it. It sounds stupid, and it kind of is, but I don't think they could do it. One guy said, let them see and try and survive the winter in Saskatchewan. Yeah, they'd freeze. Okay, maybe they'll try and take Brampton. I don't know. If these guys had a chance to seize a sparsely populated province like Saskatchewan or Manitoba by force for an independent Khalistan, they wouldn't hesitate. They don't give a shit about Canada. Send them all back to India. Yes. What did this guy say? I like this comment. Let them try. All those illegal guns won't keep the power on in the cold Saskatchewan winter. Spoken like a true Canadian here. I don't know. I can't stand these Calistani guys. That's all I hear see on the internet is these Calistani doing their parades. They're doing protests, shooting video, whatever. I really can't stand them. All right, Alberta plumber. If you weren't born in Canada, you shouldn't be able to run for any level of politics, full stop. It's not racist, it's common sense. First these fucks take over the cab and trucking industry, now they are flooding our political systems. Time to take back our country. Yeah, well, that would be a good fix. Just like so many foreign-born MPs in Canada, and it's like more and more every year. Like our health ministers from Haiti, our immigration ministers from Lebanon, our public safety ministers from Sri Lanka. Like, come on, it's ridiculous. Who else? Just the list goes on. Like, it's ridiculous. And then you got at the provincial level, MLAs, totally so many foreign-born ones, just doing their ethnic pandering and sick, like their enclaves where all the votes are gathered. So if you ban people, not to mention foreign interference, but if you ban people from running who were born here, like I don't think that's extreme at all. You would cut out a lot of those problems. Not all of them, but you'd cut out a lot of problems. A lot of conflicts of interest, a lot of foreign interference. Next. Oh, this is another story. I guess this is in Calgary. So Alberta is going through a lot of dumping issues. No wonder they want. That's what I mean. If they're going to separate, they got to deal with this issue too. And they get an Indian guy. That's right. Endless illegal dumping in Saddle Ridge, Calgary, has finally got the mainstream media's attention. The people who come from South Asia are treating that community like they did their own country, as one big garbage dump. And it's always someone else's problem to pick it all up. Pick it all up. Okay.
Because they're less visible and harder.
Let's see this.
TVs, everything except, and even kitchen sinks.
Sofas, suitcases, shoes, and more lie in heaps and scattered along the edges of new developments in Saddle Ridge. And people living nearby are sick of it.
It's quite odd. I don't know why people do this. Whenever I go for a walk,
They got an Indian to talk.
Jump over on this side and even on the other side.
The junk left here illegally isn't just an eyesore. You can smell it.
Oh.
When it rains, like you can't just pass from there. It's too stinky. like these days, it's stinky now.
No.
The city of Calgary says it takes illegal dumping seriously because it creates safety hazards, can attract pests, impacts the environment and wildlife, and results in cleanup costs. The city says it's a growing concern, especially near a vacant lot or open land and developing neighborhoods because they're less visible and harder to monitor. Charlie Simpson agrees. He works for one of the developers and says stuff just starts showing up.
We don't know who does it. They just do it when nobody's watching. The city would have to sit here day and night to catch them. But ultimately, they come and tell the developer to clean it up, which has happened a couple times.
He said they cleaned a bunch of junk up in the fall and again in the spring.
Looks like
and it
India.
impacts the neighborhood they're nearly finished building.
But you can't keep up. Like the stuff behind us here, that's pretty close to where people will be moving in, and a lot of people already have moved in.
Including Daljit Singh, who urges people to take responsibility for their trash.
Yeah,
Go to the dumping
Daljit.
ground and dump over there. Don't dump it over here so that, like, we don't get bacteria and get infections to our kids and everything.
The city started a public awareness campaign and installed signs to problem areas. It encourages anyone who sees illegal dumping to take photos or videos and report it to 311.
Couldn't bear to live with myself if I knew I did something like this. I take my garbage to the dump, pay my $25.
That's what I said.
It's a lower price than the potential fines of up to $10,000 you can face if you're caught illegally dumping.
Where I'm from in
All right, so a lot of dumping videos. I'm sure we'll see more. But just like Buddy there said, $25, go to the dump. Cheap. And you see that garbage, lots of rats too. You get lots of rats when you leave garbage everywhere. Then you wonder why they got the garbage rivers in India and the piles of garbage. You wonder. Because they throw their garbage out everywhere. Alright. Let's keep going here. Next. Indian fraudster asked for discharge to avoid deportation from Canada. Answer is no. So much going on in that headline. Indian fraud, discharge, deportation. I don't know why these judges... Like these guys, the minute you're starting defrauding people. So he was working as a butcher when he defrauded the shop at $2,700, putting deep discounts on meat for himself, his friends, and fellow employees. All right, I'm not going to read all that, but yeah, deport. Deport. Even the butcher can't. All right, that's it. I wonder if I can read this article. I don't know if I signed up for National Post. Okay. Indian man in Canada on a study permit is asking a judge for a discharge so he can avoid being deported after being convicted of theft and fraud. Jins Joseph, who has attended school in Newfoundland, was working as a butcher. So he basically stole like $27 worth, 23 grand worth of meat. All right. I wonder how much meat's stolen from the supermarkets now that I look at this. Joseph said to the judge that immigration lawyers told him that chances of being successful are almost zero with a criminal conviction. So his immigration extension. They said if it's the case, you're going to have to leave the country or you're going to get deported from the country. He said that would result in him being banned from the country for 5+ years. Joseph has a partner here, and he said he promised to give her a future and be a husband to her, and he doesn't want to break that promise. He said he spent about $100,000 so far on his education, so he's a butcher. If I have to leave the country, I'm going to have to restart my entire degree all over again. That's going to take away 6.5 years of my time trying to prepare for what I've gone through to get here. I still believe that it's just ill intentions of people that I've worked for. Their personal trouble they've had with me, they're trying to get me deported from the country. So he's blaming his co-workers. Came to Canada from India in December 2022 and began his studies in Bachelor of Business Administration program. Business admin. He worked part-time at Dominion while attending school. While at work, he was caught on surveillance camera multiple times changing stickers on meat, so it was labeled as cheaper cuts. The incidents occurred between March and May. That'll get him some Mizat points. The recordings were played during his trial and showed Joseph and others purchasing meat that the Crown alleged was obtained by fraud and theft. Joseph testified that the store had cut his hours in order to force him out because he had threatened to complain to the Labor Relations Board. He said he had proof the store was selling unsaleable meat to local restaurants and takeouts for a significantly reduced price. He also testified seeing cancers and tumors in meat and that he was told to remove them and still put the meat out for sale. He said he had videos of infected meat. As for the practice of discounting the prices, this is an interesting article actually. As for the practice of discounting the prices, Joseph conceded that they knew it was against the store policy, you think, but testified that he had permission to take meat that would have gone into the garbage to help his roommates and neighbors. He said there was a store-wide practice for employees of purchasing or taking home free meat that was unsaleable, and that it was encouraged and known by management. Employers had to ask a manager or senior employer for permission, and Joseph said that he always did so. He said that none of the store's policies were followed by employees or management. He provided meat discounts to everyone, including the store manager and every managerial employee. Free meat. So he controlled the meat sticker. He said none of the store's policies were followed by the employers. Okay. All I've done was get products with permission to feed people that are hungry, that otherwise go hungry without my help. I was trying to feed people that never had no job or any other opportunities. Okay. So the Crown wants what? 5 months to 6 months, followed by 12 months of probation. She said that immigration consequences were relevant in sentencing consideration in other cases. Defense suggested an absolute or conditional discharge would be appropriate. They said conviction would likely derail his degree, future employment prospects, eligibility for post-grad work opportunities, and continued residence in Canada. The judge said immigration status is subject to a hearing and a criminal conviction is one of the factors that would be considered. Alright. So basically, they're more worried about keeping this guy in Canada. And he threw everybody under the bus. The company, his co-workers, basically everybody. He said, I'm not to blame for the stealing the meat. Everybody else is to blame. And he still wants to stay in Canada. Sounds about right. Sounds about right. And he's a student. He's on a student visa. So this is like a part-time scam. And they're working at all the supermarkets. So I'm sure they're giving their friends nice discounted beef at all the supermarkets. Just when you think you hear it all, Now they're into the beef discounting. Or the meat discounting, sorry. See, that's ground beef. They wouldn't eat ground beef. Alright. They need to deport him. For sure. But they won't. See, in a proper country, he'd get the boot. Anyway. When's the next? Tomorrow. Saturday, August 16th. We'll see what there is to talk about tomorrow. Until then, have a nice night and enjoy the rest of your weekend.